Um, I think we'll hear from the victim next, Ms. Stiles. And so, Ms. Walker, if you could, I know you've spoken before in court, but if you could identify yourself, and then I would like to hear from you. And obviously make your comments to me, not against, we're not attacking Mr. Myers.
What up, Gio?
Thank you, Your Honor. My name is Shannon Walker. I wanted to take this opportunity to speak directly about what it has meant to be a victim in this case and to share the truth. I am here today because Lane Myers chose to stalk, harass, and terrorize me, and by extension, my family and my community. Lane Myers first contacted me when my husband was prosecuting him for his misdemeanors. In his words, he wanted to come talk to me about my husband being a crooked-ass prosecutor. He emailed my husband that he knew where we lived and would come to our neighborhood soon. Twice, he showed up at my workplace trying to find me. He called me many times and left several voicemails. These actions were sufficiently terrifying on their own. But that wasn't enough for him. Lane Myers then built an entire campaign of harassment on lies. Lies about me, lies about my family, and lies about why he was targeting us. Lying became his tool to justify his harassment, to manipulate others into joining him, and to keep his campaign of fear alive.
Okay, so I've got all kinds of issues, right? I've got all kinds of issues with all of the lies that I believe she is telling. All right, like she gets to believe her side, and then we get to believe our side. There's two sides, right? There's the truth, right? There's the truth, and we all know the truth. There's the truth, but there's still two sides, right? So she's going to talk about all of this, and then we're just supposed to ignore the fact that she lied in court, she perjured herself, she lied all those times. That's okay? Is that okay? Is that to be overlooked? Whether it was a private individual or a public individual, should actions like that just be overlooked and excused? I don't think they should be overlooked and excused, right? I mean, if you're going to lie about somebody to get this protection order, and then you're going to go judge shopping over and over again, you're allowed to. This is just gas. The legitimate purpose was you worked for the public. You want to act like you don't work for the public now? It looks like you do. It looks like you still work for the public. Otherwise, I don't know why your information would still be up there. But that doesn't even matter. That doesn't even matter. You have an obligation. You did sign the oath, right? So if he wanted to reach out for that purpose, to talk about Matt Walker being a crooked prosecutor, he wasn't talking about his case. That's the thing. He wasn't talking about his case. And she went on the FTR and she lied and said that he did talk about. That was one of the 33, right? One of the 33 lies. We're supposed to just overlook all this because Shannon's married to the prosecutor.
He lies that I am a public official, as if that somehow makes stalking and harassing me acceptable.
Nobody stalked, nobody harassed, nobody asked anybody to stalk, nobody asked anybody to harass. Gas.
Just to be clear, I haven't been a state employee since December of 2024.
So where are those emails going? Are you getting them? I mean, why is the information still up there? If not to intentionally entrap Mr. Myers and blame him for the actions, again, the actions of other people, never actually Mr. Myers.
I now work with the University of Arizona, not for the University of Arizona.
What's that mean? Is that a distinction without a difference? Wonder who's she getting paid by? Where's the check getting cut from?
Lane Myers knows this and has known it for months, but he conveniently hid it from his followers because it undercuts his argument that he can do whatever he wants to any government employee. Lane Myers said that he was going to take my career.
I don't think Lane's ever said that you can do whatever you want if it's a government employee. You can do whatever you want. No, I don't think that's ever happened. Are you allowed to reach out to the public officials and tell them that they're doing a bad job? Yeah, you're allowed to do that. Are you still allowed to do that? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. All that time in jail and 3 years of probation? Okay.
From me, and he tried to do exactly that. He called my boss and dozens of people I work with, anyone he could get a hold of. He threatened to sue me repeatedly, using the legal system as another weapon to intimidate and control me.
So did she try to use the legal system to as a weapon to control Lane? This is the classical rapist mentality. She's accusing him of the things that she is doing. She weaponized the legal system against him with the unlawful injunction, right? Lane will get into it. We'll let Lane handle it. But holy smokes, no, that's not the truth.
And of course, he demanded that I resign from my job over and over, even though he had no idea what my job was and could not identify anything that I actually did improperly that was related to it.
Other than lying, integrity means something, right? It matters. I don't care what she does. If she's getting paid by public dollars and then she's lying in open court on people, and then all this, of course she should be fired. Your oath needs to mean something. Otherwise, it's just trash. Is the oath completely irrelevant? Is that what it is? It's meaningless. Yeah, Torque, she could have corrected the record, right?
I want to address Lane Meyer's statement to the probation officer in the pre-sentence report. In that statement, he tried to downplay his conduct as simply criticizing my husband in a voicemail and claimed he never encouraged anyone to contact me. Not only was this not a valid reason to contact me at all, the reality is that he did far more than this. He threatened to come to my home and workplace, repeatedly posted my contact information.
I don't need to refute this stuff. Lane will refute it all in a minute, but I don't think he ever said he was going to come to her home.
Online, even after being ordered not to by Superior Court, and explicitly told people that anyone could reach out to me. When that contact information was briefly taken down by concerned...
That's funny. QBN Frank. Lane felt betrayed by me? Doubtful.
...colleague, Lane called me immediately to taunt me about it and said that everybody knows where I live and everybody knows where I work. He then told his followers it was proof that their emails and phone calls were working. One of his many lies is that I called a federal judge to get his girlfriend, Catherine Hendricks, fired after he reached out to me. Something that he, she, and I all know is not true, and something that she has openly admitted didn't happen. Lane Myers has blamed a number of people for whatever happened with Miss Hendricks' job, whoever he was angry with at the moment. But he decided to claim it was me when he needed a story to justify what he had done. He has also stated that there's FBI evidence supporting this claim. Of course, this evidence has never appeared. If it existed, Lane Myers would have plastered it online, live streamed
what you wish for.
Posted about it repeatedly, and sent it to everyone on Earth. It doesn't exist. We all know it. It's just another lie he tells to keep his harassment campaign going. But he continued to push the false claim to the probation officer that I caused his girlfriend to lose her job. So although the pre-sentence report states that Lane took responsibility for his actions, this demonstrates that he is not. True accountability would have meant telling the truth and stopping the harm, not continuing to spread lies, and minimizing the fear and chaos he caused for me, my family, and so many others. Lane's lies. His online mob accepted them, repeated them, and weaponized them. They have called me, emailed me, and left me voicemails, hundreds of messages echoing his false claims. They have threatened to make false reports to Child Protective Services to have my children removed from my home. They have demanded that I be fired and have spread the same shifting stories Lane Meyer's creation, a campaign that Lane Myers started and that his followers have been eager to carry out for him. Lane Myers could have stopped all of this at any time. Not only was this completely in his control, he was ordered to do so by a court. But he continued the same behavior, inciting his followers with his lies, showing them my contact information over and over, and encouraging them to target me. As a result, the harassment and threats against me escalated even further. Lane Myers orchestrated this harassment, and now he tries to distance himself from the consequences, pretending he is a victim of a system gone wrong. These were not isolated mistakes. They were deliberate actions Lane Myers chose to take to harass, intimidate, and control me. And let's be clear about why he did it. Lane Myers cannot win lawfully, so he attempts to win unlawfully. There's simply no reason to post the names and contact information of victims, witnesses, or the prosecutor's wife in your criminal cases, except to incite people to contact them, intimidate them, and drive them out of participating in the criminal justice system. By definition, this is terrorism. Lane Myers liked to call his supporters the nonviolent army.
Terrorism.
Here are just a few of the things that the...
Terrorism? What is what they just got through? I can't even say that because it's still going on. It's ongoing. It's ongoing with them. But no, we'll just gas them all up. Gas us up. Let's see what she says about these people. And then I want you guys to think to yourself, do the things that these people are saying, do they sound like things that Lane approves of or that Lane would endorse, or that you could picture Lane saying? We all know.
The nonviolent things that he and his army have done in his name. Lane Myers posted an altered image of my spouse holding my severed head. He posted multiple images of my husband with crosshairs over his head, a symbol that is strongly associated with shooting targets. His supporters have sent me messages including, "Hope to see you tarred and feathered one day soon. You are all parasites who should be thankful that they are allowed to even exist. People are going to be fisting your ass in a prison cell. Scum such as yourself deserves to be gunned down without mercy. I hope that you will get to see your children die before you meet your end. Please do this world a big favor by killing yourself. Die, Shannon. Please fucking die slowly and painfully." And just this past Saturday, after Lane Myers violated this court's order yet again, he returned to YouTube to lie about the state.
He's in jail. He's in jail. He didn't violate any order. When this is going on, he's sitting in jail. He's got a lot of power from jail. I can't picture any of those things being anything that Lane would ever say, ever in a million years. I can't imagine it. And the thumbnails, the pictures that she's talking about being posted, does she think that Lane's in the back making thumbnails? It's art, Shannon. I get it that you have no appreciation for art because I guess it's scary. I don't know. I guess we're supposed to take it literal. If you see a picture of Matt with your severed head, what is that supposed to mean? I mean, what? Crosshairs. Look. We got crosshairs in this thumbnail. for today's video is that does that mean that we want to see Lane dead? Is it? This is the picture she's talking about. So is that what we're supposed to assume, that we got some crosshairs on Lane? That must mean that we want him dead. Matt's holding the severed head of a kangaroo. Therefore, what? Therefore, what?
I submitted to this court and I received, you deserve to be hung in the street with your lying husband. This is what Lane Myers calls nonviolent. This is what he has built and encouraged, and is the fear he brought into.
Is that what he calls nonviolent? Interesting.
To my life and lives of many others. And he wants this court to believe he will comply with this court's orders. He can't even control himself while he's in jail awaiting sentencing. Lane Myers often likes to say that I harassed myself by watching his content, and he likes to lie and say that I made up the harassment by sending harassing emails to myself. The truth is, much of Lane Myers' harassment was sent to me by identifiable people acting on his behalf.
Acting on his behalf? No, not acting on his behalf. We all have free will. We've all got free will.
Including Joshua Gray of New Smyrna Beach, Florida, who goes by This Is a Public Service on YouTube.
Wonder what the purpose of that is. What do you guys think? What do you guys think the purpose of the city in which I reside? Huh? What's the purpose of that? I mean, okay, well, we can stretch it and say the name and the name of the YouTube channel. Okay, we'll stretch and we'll even believe that. Okay, Shannon? But tell me, what's the reason for mentioning the city in which I live? What is the intent there, Shannon? What's the intent? Because I extract some intent out of something like that. So, okay. All right.
Joshua Gray is Lane Myers' little partner in committing many of the crimes.
I'm his little partner in committing many crimes. Many crimes. I've committed no crimes. None. Zero. I've sent Shannon emails. I've given Shannon a phone call. Several, probably. But you know what I've never done? I've never threatened. I've never harassed. I've shot the links to some videos over to her. I did that. Not for Lane or on behalf of Lane. No, Shannon. No. I'm not a puppet, Shannon. I think that the lies and the things that you've done to Lane are reprehensible. I think that they're monstrous. And I see that happening to a dear friend. And I've got a voice of my own. Then you better believe I'm going to lend my voice to it, and I'm going to scream from the mountaintops so that every one of my friends that cares about truth and justice and liberty does the same thing. So
on YouTube. Joshua Gray is Lane Myers' little partner in committing many of the crimes.
Little partner in committing many of the crimes. No. factually untrue. Send me the link to the video where my crime. Send me my crimes. I want to know what my crimes are. You would think, since wasn't I just on probation? I think I was. I mean, my crimes, they should have been able to manage my criminal activity pretty closely while that was going on, right? So what am I to infer? Am I to infer no crimes? I feel like that's what I'm to infer. Constitutionally protected activity, and his little partner in crime. Cool story, Shannon.
He has repeatedly emailed me, called me, and forwarded Mr. Myers' videos to ensure I saw them.
Let's say all of it's true. You still had to watch. She had to. And had I not sent them, are we saying that Warren didn't send them? Okay, Shannon.
I want to acknowledge that I'm not the only one that Lane Myers has targeted. He has harassed, threatened, and terrorized many others
Overruled, don't interrupt. Go ahead.
in Tucson and beyond, dragging people into his chaos and fear for no reason other than his desire for control and attention.
His desire for control and attention. There's many other...
Overruled, don't interrupt. Go ahead.
In Tucson, threatened and terrorized many others that Lane Myers has targeted. He has harassed, threatened, and terrorized many others
Overruled, don't interrupt. Go ahead.
in Tucson and beyond, dragging people into his...
He has? Is there any evidence of that? Is there evidence of that, or is there just this statement from Shannon, who's known for her truth and integrity? Joyce, did you change your name? Don't worry, Joyce. My boots are ready to go. They're absolutely ready to go. But I can't... What was your name before you changed it? Oh, Joyce, I can't remember. Does anybody know who called me that before? It wasn't Joyce, so...
chaos and fear for no reason other than his desire for control and attention. This wasn't just scary for me. It was scary for everyone at the University of Arizona who became aware of his actions at a time when our community...
Janelle, I forgot about that. I didn't really forget about it, but you're right. What's that about?
is all too aware of the effects of behavior like harassment and stalking. Lane Myers has targeted colleagues and students at the College of Law, people who have nothing to do with him, who were simply coming to work or to class, and who ended up navigating locked doors and security protocols because of the threat he created. He made students feel unsafe at their own law school, and he forced colleagues to worry about their personal safety simply for doing their jobs. He's disrupted entire communities, and while I'm here today to stand up for myself, I'm also here to stand up for them. Catherine had...
Stand up for them, the anonymous many. The anonymous many. Just like all the anonymous threats. Shannon's standing up for everybody's anonymity. Good job, Shannon. Stand up for everybody's anonymity when they protect you and are so scared of Mr. Myers. Everybody is so scared of his scary words.
Hendricks shared in her letter to this court that Lane Myers supported her during her father's illness. Let me tell you what Lane Myers did while my father was dying during the same time that Lane Myers tried to destroy my life. My father was diagnosed with terminal cancer 2 months before Lane Myers decided to start harassing me. Lane Myers took a significant portion of the last time I would ever have with my dad and turned it into fear, stress, and chaos. Instead of spending those final months fully present with my dad while he was fighting cancer and when he needed me, I spent more hours than I can count talking to police, documenting Lane Meyer's harassment, meeting with various security officials, and attending court hearings while living under constant siege. My family was...
I'm sympathetic to that. My dad died of cancer too. I'm sympathetic to her dad's suffering. And maybe I'll just leave it there.
Trying to process my dad's illness and make the most of the time we had left. But Lane Meyer's harassment was always there, demanding attention, demanding time, demanding energy that should have gone to my dad and my family during those precious final months. I was harassed by Lane Meyer's sycophants while sitting next to my dad in the ICU on the day he died. Lane Meyers took what should have been a peaceful, sacred time for my family and turned it into a period of fear and exhaustion. And for what? Because my husband was prosecuting him, Lane Meyers targeted me. Then he invented a lie that I got someone fired to justify what he wanted to do. Escalate, target.
Okay, even if that was true, which it's not, those were lies, do we excuse all the things that you do? Are we supposed to excuse that? We're going to say that another wrong is going to right the situation? Is that what you're saying? Gas.
Control and harass. He even fabricated other lies that my husband and I were somehow working together to unethically prosecute people. Lies, lies, and more lies. Your Honor.
Randy, it's chilling. Chilling.
Lane Meyers wants to claim this is about free speech, but it is not. This is about the harm he has caused to me, to my family.
I just want everybody to remember in the hidden hearing, she called him a First Amendment purist.
To my colleagues.
Actually, I apologize. I need to retract that. It wasn't her, was it? I think it was Rachel. Guys, can anybody remember? Can anybody check me on that?
To the students at the University of Arizona and to the broader community he chose to terrorize. It is about the fear he created in our daily lives, the time he stole, and the safety he shattered for so many. He only cares about his supposed rights while ignoring the rights of others to live free from harassment and fear. In one of the letters of support for Lane Meyers, it was written that a community should tolerate diversity and freedom of expression and viewpoint as long as it does not harm others. I absolutely agree, and that is exactly the point. Lane Meyers' conduct is not about diversity of viewpoints. It is about targeted harassment, threats, and fear. It is about dragging families, workplaces, and entire communities into...
Never mind what we drag him through. It doesn't matter what we drag him through. It only matters what Shannon gets dragged through, or drugged through. Which is it?
Chaos and danger because he refuses to take responsibility for his actions and cannot control himself. This is not speech that does not harm others. Lane Meyers' speech was designed to harm, and it has harmed me, my family, my colleagues, and countless others in ways that will not disappear when this hearing ends. I also need this court to understand that while we are resolving the legal issues today, this will not be over for me anytime soon. Lane Meyers made sure of that. I will still have to worry every day about someone showing up at my home or workplace ready to hurt me or my family because they have been incited by his lies. I understand this court can't stop that from happening, but it can send a message. It can send a message that Lane Meyers and people like him who decide to lie and whip people into a frenzy will be held accountable for the harm they create, the same way that an arsonist would be held accountable for dropping a match into the forest and letting it burn. I ask that you consider this ongoing harm as you decide what accountability looks like in this case, and I'm asking you to see Lane Meyers clearly for who he is and what he has done. Lane Meyers ensured that the consequences of his actions will follow me long after today, And that is something I will have to carry forward, whether he is behind bars or not. I'm asking you to hold him fully accountable so that I, my family, my colleagues, our students, and the many others he's harmed in the Tucson community can begin to heal and feel safe again. Thank you.
We're out here today to ensure our natural rights are respected by those who swore an oath to support, protect, and defend the rights of the people. The purpose of all interactions is to peacefully promote government accountability and transparency. Please like, share, and subscribe so this message can reach as many people as possible. I implore you to peacefully seek redress to any and all of your grievances. This is a public service.
Who goes by This Is a Public Service on YouTube.
This is a public service.
This is a public service.